Hi guys, hope you all are doing well and had an amazing day in the market. We start with the disclaimer, right? Pause it, read every single word till the end. This by no means is any trade recommendation and purely for educational purposes only. And we are a SEBI registered research analyst, right? Excellent. So, what did we analyze yesterday? Right, we had a specific level for being bearish and bullish. Now, this was the plan for today, which it broke out, and I'll cover that. This is what we had, right? We said below 25,878, which was none other than the previous day low. Breaking that, we will turn bearish, and breaking the high 26,030 will be bullish, right? And the market is heading towards a correction slash consolidation. So, what did the markets do, right? I think it was a fantastic plan and a fantastic day, right? So, the market gave a fake breakdown. Do comment how many of you caught that, because we did, right? And that's exactly was the trade of the day in here, right? So there you go, you see this. So on a 15-minute candle, this is where the markets opened. It came down, gave that wick, but it could not close below this, right? So technically what I call this is a fake breakdown, because if you look at a lower channel, you know it's going down as if it is going to break. And this is why it is very important at opening, right? 9:15 to 9:30, or even for that matter, the first hourly candle is something that I consider it as, wait and watch. But this breakdown was very clear, because on a lower time frame there was no follow up, and on the 15 minutes time frame you see that wick, and then the price is coming back. So, and if you recall, we spoke about two possibilities, right? One is this, and this was the bounce that we looked at as one of the possibilities, and or the other possibility we looked at was this, right? This going up and this coming down. So we capitalized it on the plan and the day, right? Keeping it light, easy, because remember, this is not a strong trend as yet, right? Now, with that said, what do I plan for tomorrow, right? Looking at the price, this is clearly a bullish candle, right? Because we've closed above the previous day and the yesterday's high, right? So the price is clearly bullish, right? There's no reason to be bearish. Now, nonetheless, let me add the volumes to see how things are looking there. Come on, trading view. There you go. Because it's always important to correlate price with volume, because when you have more power and strength by the big guys, the movement is fast, right? So this volume for today, for me personally, is not too convincing, right? To be strong enough to be bullish, or to be confidently staying bullish, right? And the reason why we are taking one day at a time. Excellent. So price is bullish on the day. Let me also put weekly. But we're mid of the week. We're trading above the previous week's high, which is a good sign. So 25,010 is going to be something that I'm going to hard code it on my chart, to see if we can get a retest in here, which it did kind of here in this with the doji on a lower time frame. But hey, another retest would be nice to have based on price, right? Because what's also happening here is this is something that I can see it as a wedge, right? So I think a dip would be nice to have for any further stronger positional move, right? So that's that. Now take I also kind of looked at some of the patterns, right? Something that we've also covered in our last few sessions. So if you're here for the first time, go and watch it, because I think this is one of the patterns that we've been talking about for a very long time, right? When the market was here, we said this could possibly be a head and shoulder, right? That may be evolving, and at least for now, it seems to be on track, right? Which is, it can possibly go and retest. these levels, which is 26, 100, 110, 26, 120, 20 points range level, and then get a rejection and then boom. So this is the time to be cautiously bullish, right? Which is what I was today, because we've been talking about position sizing and being cautiously bullish, right? You can't be running at 100 miles an hour all the time. So I'm in that slow mode, right, in the village roads, with the turns and twists and slowing down cautiously, right? So that's the plan. Now, this is one larger head and shoulder, right? The other pattern that is evolving is this, right? If you recall, yesterday we had, or until day before yesterday, we had this trend line. But now, with what has evolved today, I'm going to move my trend line here, right? Uh, but also, if you look at this channel in here, do comment if this head and shoulder here in a lower time frame is convincing for you, right? Which is this, this, and this, right? Maybe this and then a breakdown. Remember, um, never trade based on a pattern, right? We always use pattern as a confluence of our technical analysis, right? So price is bullish, right? It's just that observation that I wanted to share, and a possibility that may or may not evolve, and for that price needs to confirm, right? So we looked at a larger head and shoulder in here, and then there is one head and shoulder here. However, if you look at the price, there's no reason to be bearish, right? Has the momentum slowed down? Yes, it has. Relatively to the given market, without Jane Street, that's one. But with respect to, or relatively without even the Jane Street, it has gone down even further down, right? So it keeps you on your toes, right? So price is bullish, and those were the two patterns that we looked at. Time to stay cautious, and looking at the options data. No surprises, because today we had more number of puts rather than the calls. So that's 3.46 crores to 90 lakhs. 9 fours are almost 4:1 ratio. And we had some strong 25,900, 25,950. This is good writing all the way up to 26,050. However, the overall open interest, this is a big question mark. 26,000 call writers are sitting there. And this is an even Steven, and the markets have closed at 26,052. There could be two things, right? One, either they have deep pockets and the ammunition to move the markets down south, right? Because I've been using this for a very long time. Um, we know this data, right? We know that the call writers are in here, but what we don't know is how deep are their pockets, right? Because one is the option writing that they do, and the other is the capital that they have to move the markets, right? Because this is a position, and then in the back end they need to pump money either or to move the market. So this is what is keeping me cautious, right? I wouldn't say nervous, but cautious to go long at this point of time, right? Because this again depends on tomorrow's opening, right? If we do a gap up, then these guys are going to run for cover, or we could see some volatility, and we'll come to the Elliott wave in a bit, right? So and if it does a gap down, these guys are going to have an advantage, and things can turn around, right? So price is bullish. There's no reason. Options data is more neutral, is what I would say, and I would give the benefit of doubt to the opening. Depending on where the markets open, I would switch my analysis, right? And I think that is what I set you for during this analysis, and not have a fixed mindset, right? That's very, very important. So you are able to adapt when the markets open, right? Just like the levels that we spoke about, right? This was the level that we had shared, and it got the wick. So do comment how many of you were able to capitalize on it, right? So that's that. Now moving on to Elliott Wave, I'm going to use 75 minutes in here to begin with. So it has that high level, and kill this volume in here, right? So this is what we've been talking about. Arey yaar, I don't know, need that. Okay. So this is what we looked at as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is what we had as on yesterday, but with today's move, I am looking to move 5 in here, 3 in here, and 4 in here, right? And then we're talking about an internal 5 wave of wave 3 somewhere in here, right? This is what we're looking at. So I'm going to move this to a higher degree. Students, pay attention, right? This is how you evolve your labeling. And then if this is 4 in here, if I get onto a lower time frame, look at this. The big question is this a leading diagonal or an ending diagonal, right? There's no divergence as yet. So tomorrow's opening is going to, define if this is 5 or this is 1 of 5, right? 1 of 5. We don't know, right? Either or can possibly evolve. So price is bullish. Options data is more neutral. Opening is going to give us that clue. And in summary, if I were to derive levels based on price and everything, I think things are pretty clear now, right? Price today's high is going to be bullish above. Let's make conclusion bullish above, and then I would be bearish, or rather, corrective, right? I wouldn't be using the word bearish. Right, yesterday we had, look at how beautifully things are evolving. Yesterday we had this trend line and we expected the expiry somewhere in here, right, to 25,950. It closed at 25,910, and this consolidation happened, and today I'm changing it to this. So from a view perspective, two things have happened. Our levels have gone up, and so has our trend line, right? So pretty much, the wave pattern has evolved. We're just moving things around, and that's what, the entire game is about, right? It's that puzzle that you solve. So either 5 is over or this is 1 of 5, either or, and tomorrow's price will define. Personally, I think a dip will be nice. I'm somehow more inclined towards a 5 being over here, while price is still not confirmed as yet. And so staying cautious, right? No carry forward on situations like this. And yeah, I mean, if you're not on our YouTube members area and our training group and our recommendations, do check that out, because I think that's where the real discussions and learning happens. In the coming week, I may not be around and may not be doing the daily analysis. I'm not sure, but we'll see if I can come in. But apart from that, we'll end up posting in other forums that I'm more active on. Guys, have a great rest of the day, and have a fantastic evening. Cheers. Bye now.